Hi, welcome back to my channel Haron Hotspot. And last class we were discussing about solids mensuration chapter, and we have discussed the solids like cube, cuboid, and cylinder in the last class, and we discussed some of the features of cube and cuboid and cylinder. Like in cube, 6 faces are there, and all 6 faces are squares, and cuboid, 6 faces are there, and all the faces are just rectangle, not squares in the case of cuboid. And in the case of cylinder, both bases are circles, isn't it? And circles radius is there, and height of the cylinder is there. Okay, and all those things we have discussed in the last class. Today we are going to discuss few more basic concept. And let me tell you, in the last day we the principal mom arranged a meeting for the staffs, and she discussed that the management planning to conduct your annual exam in the next month. That means I think March first week onwards we will start your annual exam. I repeat, March first week we are going to conduct your annual exam. This is February is going on. That means just after 2 weeks you have to face your annual exam. So at that time you have to prepare all the chapters for March. Okay, you are supposed to prepare all the chapters for March, but still we will give you some important chapters where you have to focus. Okay, and so let me add one more thing. It's the right time to start your revision work. So today evening onwards we will start the revision work. That means after every class, after 6 p.m. I will give you a clear strategy how to revise. We will fix a time in the evening, and we will use that time effectively on the chapters. I will give you the chapters, which all the chapters you have to prepare in that day, and next day what will be the chapter you have to prepare. In that way, within 1 or 2 weeks we could complete the revision. Okay, I will give you the chapters. You have to prepare the chapter at that time, in that fixed period of time, and after that if you feel any doubt you can call me and ask me in that evening time. In that way we will revise. Are you following me? Because I cannot revise all the chapters once again, because my videos are available. If you have any doubt in a specific session, you just ask me, I will send you the video. So this is the thing. As I mentioned, we are going to learn few more basic concept in this chapter. Okay, I think by the next week we will complete this chapter. We are not going to explore everything in this chapter. We are going to learn only the basic things of this chapter. So today I am planning about circle. Okay, planning to discuss about circle. Can anyone give me a definition of circle? Can anyone give me a definition of circle? Definition of circle is when you define circle, the definition of the circle is collection of points from a fixed point. That means just fix a point like this. If I fix a point like this, if I am going to collect many points such that all those points have equal distance from this fixed point, this is your fixed point. I repeat, this is your fixed point. Now what I am going to do, I am going to collect many points such that all those points should lies in an equal distance from this fixed point. Suppose this is your fixed point. If I mark a point here, and suppose the distance between this point and this point is like some 3 or 5 centimeter, let it be some 5 centimeter, then I have to take another point such that that point, and the specialty of that point is the distance between that point and this point also should be 5 centimeter, because here the distance is 5 centimeter. I have to maintain that distance throughout. So if I select a point here, the specialty of that point should be the distance between that point and this point should be 5 centimeter. So see, by measuring 5 centimeter I have selected a point here. Then I need few more points. Then by measuring 5 centimeter from here I have selected a point here. Then if I select point like that, I will get few points like this, and I need more points, I need more points. So if you collect many points in that way, now the specialty of these collected points are distance between the central point and these points should be equal. If we choose 5 centimeter, all the distance should be 5 centimeter. And when you collect few, I need more points, I need more. If you collect more and more points, it will look like in this shape, and that shape is generally known as circle. So can you define circle now? Circle is, pure definition of circle is just a collection of points such that the speciality of this point should be the distance between that points and the central point should be equal. All the distance should be same. So that is what is circle. And you may understood that for a circle there should be a center, and this is known as center of the circle. You can draw the figure of the circle and you can mark this point and you can mention it as center. Okay, that means where you are pointing your compass, that is known as center. And the distance between center to the outer portion, I repeat, distance between the center to the outer portion is known as radius of the circle. I repeat, the distance between the center to the outer portion is known as radius of the circle. We usually mention it as R, radius, distance between the center to the outer portion. This portion, that is known as radius. Then what will known as the complete distance? That means if I draw a line through the center, I repeat, if I draw a line through the center in this way, this total line is known as diameter. What is the name of this total line? That total line. So this is the line which I have mentioned here. That is known as diameter. That means diameter is a line passing through the center from one end of a circle to the another end of a circle. What do you mean by diameter? Diameter is a line joining one end of a circle to the another end of the circle through the center. That is known as diameter. And radius is just half of the diameter. Radius is just half of the diameter. Diameter we usually mention by D and radius we usually mention by R. So this is the properties of the circle. Okay. Now we are going to learn few formulas for circle. That means what is the formula for calculating perimeter of circle and what is the formula for calculating area of circle. These are the two formulas which I am going to learn, which we are going to discuss. The formula for calculating perimeter is 2 pi r and formula for calculating area of a circle is pi r square. So you may have doubt that what is this pi means. Pi, the value of pi is 3.14, or sometimes we can use the value of pi as 22/7. If you want, you can choose the value of pi as 3.14. Otherwise, you can choose the value of pi as what? 22/7, as your wish. The value of pi, both values are same. Okay, if the value of pi are 3.14 or 22/7, as your wish, you can choose any value. So the perimeter of the circle is 2 pi r and the area of the circle is pi r square. So let me repeat once again, the perimeter of the circle equation is 2 pi r. What is this r? R is radius of the circle. You may understood, no? R is nothing but the radius of the circle. So perimeter is 2 pi r and area is pi r square. And so r we know that is radius, and here only the confusion with the pi. The value of pi is given as 3.14 or 22/7. You are supposed to by heart the value of pi. Clear? And you may have doubt that what is the practical meaning of perimeter and what is the practical meaning of area. Can you tell me what is the practical meaning of perimeter and area? Perimeter means the boundary. The boundary. Suppose this is a ground in the shape of circle. If a student, if he is running around the circle or running towards the boundary of the circle, the total length of the boundary is known as perimeter. Perimeter means the total length of the boundary. That is known as perimeter. Suppose if you are going to measure the boundary by using a tape, if you start measurement from here, you can place the tape like this and like this and like this. and up to here you have measured. That length, that total boundary length is known as perimeter. Okay, sometimes if the ground is very big, in order to measure the boundary length by using tape is a difficult task, no? Isn't it? Suppose your playground is very big and that is in the shape of circle. We need to calculate it's the total boundary length for conducting a running competition. So by using tape, if the ground is very big, it is very difficult to measure. In that case, we can use the formula for calculating perimeter, 2 pi r. By using this formula, we can calculate the boundary length instead of using tape. Now onwards, we no need to use any tape for measuring the total boundary length of a circle because we have the formula 2 pi r. Just use that formula and calculate the perimeter. Perimeter will give you the boundary length because perimeter is what is boundary. And what 2 we know, pi the value is 3.14 or 22 by 7, you can substitute as you wish, and r is nothing but the radius. Radius you can easily measure. For any playground, you can easily measure the radius. How? Find the distance between the center to the outer portion, that is what is radius. That you can easily measure, no? Which is difficult to measure the radius or to measure the boundary length. To measure the radius is very simple, but when we compare with the boundary length, to measure the radius is very simple. So we can easily measure the radius and we can easily apply in this formula, we will get the boundary length. Okay, so you may have understood the application of perimeter in real life. Clear? Then where we can use the concept of area. Suppose area is related to the interior thing, interior portion. Perimeter is related with the boundary, border or boundary. So which all situations you can use perimeter concept when you run around the circle, or when you fence if suppose Thomas R is going to fence our circular ground, fencing is towards the boundary, so in that way we will use the concept of perimeter for fencing. And where we will use the concept of area is related to the interior portion. That means area is related to the interior. That means suppose if someone is going to floor tiles on the ground, that is what is, someone is going to floor tiles, tile, someone is going to floor tiles on the ground. That is what is related with the interior portion. So in that way, in that case, we will apply the concept of area. And suppose someone is going to plant some vegetables throughout the ground. That is related to the interior portion. No? So in that case, we will use the concept of area. Then, yes, in that way, what all the things related with the complete interior portion, there we will use the concept of area. Clear? So this is the formula for calculating perimeter of the circle, and this is the formula for calculating area of the circle. Let me solve a question for you. So we are going to discuss a question, so you will get understood both formula in a proper way. If you solve a question, this is your question, write the question. Find area and perimeter of circle with radius 7 cm. I repeat, find area and perimeter of circle with radius 7 cm. So this is your question, and let me solve the question. We are supposed to calculate area and perimeter both of a circle. So in order to calculate area of a circle, so you can write area of a circle. That is the first question, no? Area of circle. Area of circle formula is what? Pi r square. This is what is the formula for calculating area of circle? Pi r square. Then pi, what value, which value you can substitute? You can substitute 3.14 or 22 by 7. But here I am going to substitute pi as 22 by 7. If you want, you can substitute 3.14, no problem. But I am going to substitute the value of pi as 22 by 7. So you can ask me, why, sir, you selected this value for pi as 22 by 7. I will give you the reason. Into r square, what is radius? Radius of the circle is 7 cm. So r is 7. So r square will be 7 square. Clear? And in some question they will provide, instead of radius, they will provide diameter. So at that time you have to take the half of the diameter, then only you will get the radius, because here we need radius only. Okay. Now just see, it becomes 22 by 7 into, so what is 7 square? Can you write 7 square as 7 into 7? Can you write 7 square as 7 into 7? Yes, of course. Some number square is that number into same number, no? In that way, because a square is nothing but a into a, in that way. So you can cancel 7 and 7. So what will remain? 22 into 7. So 154 centimeter square. Why the centimeter square came? Because this is area. So unit of the area is, if it is in centimeter, centimeter square. If the measurement is in meter, meter square. And so now you may understand that why I have substituted the value of pi as 22 by 7. Why? Because this kind of a cancellation happened. So this, due to this advantage, I repeat, due to this advantage, we have used the value of pi as 22 by 7. Because in this way cancellation is possible. That's why, suppose if you substitute pi as 3.14, the calculation becomes difficult. Here calculation becomes very smooth. So sometimes according to the situation we will substitute pi as 22 by 7, because after solving a few more problems you will get understood in which situation you have to apply the value of pi as 22 by 7. If the cancellation is possible, you can substitute 22 by 7. If the cancellation is not possible, you can substitute what? 3.14. Moving to the next portion of this question, you are supposed to calculate perimeter also. And what is the formula for calculating perimeter of circle? Perimeter of circle is equal to 2 pi r. You are not supposed to use this kind of short forms. You are supposed to write completely. Since this is a video, that's why I am writing perimeter as p. But you are not supposed to do that. You are supposed to write perimeter. Perimeter is equal to 2 pi r. This is the formula, and 2 into pi. I am going to substitute 22 by 7 because I know that cancellation is possible. And r, radius, that is given as 7. Now you just see 7 get cancelled. What is 2 into 22? 44. Its unit is centimeter. You are not supposed to write centimeter square, because for area only we will write if it is in centimeter, centimeter square. If it is in meter, meter square. For perimeter we will write the same unit, centimeter. If it is in centimeter, if the given measurement is in centimeter, then perimeter also in centimeter. If the given measurement is meter, then perimeter also should be in meter. Clear? So this is the way of calculating. Moving to the next topic. And now we are going to discuss few more shapes. Okay, these are the shapes we are going to discuss. First one is rectangle. Then we will discuss about parallelogram. Then we will discuss about triangle. Then we will discuss about kite, and then we will discuss about general quadrilateral. That means last in the sense, not to the, you may think that this is the last topic of this chapter. Not like that. This is not the last topic. This is the last topic of this portion. Okay, so many topics are waiting for us in this chapter. And shall we discuss about rectangle now? Okay. So rectangle. Okay. So we are going to start with the discussion of rectangle right now, and this is the shape of rectangle. And you know that rectangle in Malayalam, the Malayalam word of rectangle is chaduram, rectangle. And what is the speciality of rectangle? First speciality is okay, you can write the special. Yes, you can write the speciality. First speciality is all angles are 90 degree. All angles are 90 degree. What is that means? This all angles should be 90 degree. This is the symbol for denoting whether the angle is 90 degree or not. If the angle is 90 degree, we will mention, normally we will mention angle like this, no? In this way. Suppose this is a figure, then we can mention the angle in this way. Only we used to mention, no? But if the angle is 90 degree, we will mention the angle in this way. See, this way. So in rectangle, all the angles are 1, 2, 3, 4 angles are there. All 4 angles should be 90 degree. That is the speciality of rectangle. First speciality. And the second speciality is opposite sides are. We will discuss only the main features, not all features. Opposite sides are equal. Second speciality is opposite sides are equal. What do you mean by opposite sides are equal? What is the meaning of opposite sides are equal? See, this side and this side should be equal. If this is 10 centimeter, this is also 10 centimeter. And this side and this side also should be equal. That means if it is 5, this is 5. If it is 10, this is 10. If it is 5, this is also 5. That means opposite sides are equal. This is what is the speciality of rectangle. And in rectangle, we have to discuss two formulas. First formula is for calculating area of rectangle. These all are the sections, these all are the points came under rectangle. Area of the rectangle formula is L into B. And perimeter of the rectangle is the formula 2 into L plus B. So, you may understood that what is the concept of perimeter and area. Perimeter means boundary length, area means interior portion. Okay, and area of the rectangle is L into B. What is this L? L stands for length and B stands for breadth. L stands for length. This is what is length. This is what is breadth. Okay, so area will be L into B. L into B, length into breadth. That is the formula for calculating area. And what is the formula for calculating boundary length or perimeter? 2 into L plus B. I repeat, 2 into L plus B. 2 into, after 2, then into in bracket L plus B. What is this? What is this L and B? Length and breadth. 2 into L plus B. This is the formula for calculating rectangles perimeter, and this is the formula for calculating rectangles area. Then we are moving to parallelogram. What do you mean by parallelogram? Parallelogram, see, this is the, what is parallelogram? See, this is the general shape of a parallelogram. What is the features of parallelogram? In parallelogram, first feature is opposite sides are parallel, right? Opposite sides are parallel. Means AB and DC should be parallel and AD and BC should be parallel. So you can ask me, sir, what do you mean by parallel lines? Parallel lines in the sense, you just think about railway track. What is the specialty of railway track? What is the specialty of railway track? We can say, see, the feature of the railway track is, see, there exist two tracks and they are parallel. Means if you extend that two tracks to anywhere, that will not meet, that will not coincide, that will goes parallelly in this way. That means these are not two parallel lines. Why? Because if you extend like this, if you extend this line, that will intersect somewhere. But railway track, try to extend, it will not coincide, it will not intersect anywhere. So this is the example for parallel lines. So that is a perfect example for parallel lines. And you just start thinking that if the railway track is not parallel each other, what will happen? Track will intersect somewhere, then accident will happen, isn't it? Yes. That's why they have maintained the railway track as such parallel. And you just see, in the case of parallelogram, the opposite sides are parallels like railway track. It should be parallel to this one. And the next opposite pair, this and this, that also should be parallel. Opposite sides are parallel to each other. That is the first specialty. And the second specialty is just like rectangle, opposite sides are equal. That means this will be equal to this one, this will be equal to this one. And there is no strict rule what will be the measure of the angle. We cannot say that should be 90 degree or that should be something else. We don't know anything about the angles. These are the two main specialty of parallelogram. And in the case of parallelogram, we are going to learn only the formula for calculating area, because perimeter, one suppose if someone asks perimeter of parallelogram, what you can do? If all the sides are given, just add all the sides. That is what is perimeter. What do you mean by perimeter? Perimeter is the total boundary length. So if you have this side, if you have this side, if you have this side, and if you have this side, just add all the sides. That will give you perimeter. But area is a little bit important concept. The formula for area of the parallelogram is base into height. What? Base into height. That is the area for calculating. As a formula for calculating area of parallelogram, base into height. What this B stands for? Base. This is your base side, the lower side. And what this H stands for? Height. This is what is height of the parallelogram. Base and height, B into H. That is what is the formula for calculating area of parallelogram, B into H. Next we are moving to a triangle now. Now let us start thinking about triangle. Triangle is the most important shape And this is the this is the shape of a triangle. Generally we are drawing triangle like this, and in the triangle this side is known as base. We can represent it as B, and this is known as height and base and height of the triangle. This is known as base and this is known as height. Clear? Base and height. What all are the specialities of triangle? First speciality is sum of the angles is equal to 180 degree. Sum of angles is equal to 180 degree. What is the meaning of that? When you add this angle and this angle and this angle, you will get 180 degree. Sum of all the three angles should be 180 degree. And the second is, this is the one speciality. Okay. And the second point you can write, if all the sides are equal, that is known as equilateral triangle. If all the sides of a triangle are equal, that is known as equilateral triangle. Then if two sides are equal, that is known as isosceles triangle. Write it as a third point. If two sides are equal, that is known as isosceles triangle. Equilateral triangle and isosceles triangle. Clear? Is it clear for you? Yes. If three sides are equal, equilateral, and if two sides are equal, isosceles triangle. That is your third point. And the next point we have to concentrate. This one. Area of a triangle. The formula is half into base into height. This is the formula for calculating area of a triangle. Area of a triangle is equal to half into base into height. I repeat, area of a triangle is equal to half into base into height. Half into, B stands for base, this one is base, and H stands for height, this one is H. Half into base into height is the formula for calculating area of a triangle. Is it clear? Area of triangle. Okay. And suppose, let me introduce one more triangle in front of you. This is another triangle, and what is the specialty of this triangle? This angle is 90 degree. That means this is a right triangle. If a triangle with one angle is 90 degree, that is known as right triangle. So you can write side heading right triangle, RIGHT triangle, right triangle, then draw this figure, right triangle. Okay. This is the example for right triangle ABC, where angle B is equal to 90 degree. The specialty of right triangle is one angle should be 90 degree. I repeat, the specialty of the right triangle is one angle should be 90 degree. In that way, angle B came to be 90 degree. Clear? In this triangle, right triangle, area formula is same, half into base into height. Okay. We have learned a formula half into base into height for triangle, and in the case of right triangle also same formula half into base into height, because right triangle also a triangle, no? Half into base into height. Area of right triangle is half into base into height. Clear? But there exists a small difference. What this B stands for base, and as you know, this is your base. It is very clear, this is your base. And height, this side itself is known as height. In right triangle, that is a specialty only for right triangle, the lower side is base and this side should be height. You can treat this as base and you can treat this as height. And this is the formula, area. But in normal triangle, this is base and this is height. But in right triangle, you can call this side itself as its height. This is base. Clear? Is it clear for you? Yes. Now moving to the next one, kite. You know what you mean by kite? Malayalam word of kite is pattam. You know that pattam. Is it? Pattam. That is what is kite. ABCD. We are not going to learn all the things in kite. The specialty of kite is this side should be parallel to this side and this side should be parallel to this side. That is the specialty of kite. The specialty of kite is this side should be parallel to this side and this side should be parallel to this side. That is a feature of kite. This pair is parallel and this pair is parallel. Kite. Clear? parallel and parallel. This is the first what this is the first specialty. You can mark like this, no need to write anything, because this marking stands for this side and this side are parallel, and this marking stands for this side and this side are parallel. Okay, clear? Okay, this is kite, and let us learn only one formula in the case of kite. Kite area is equal to half into d1 into d2. Shibin sir, what is this d1 and d2? We didn't learn anything about d1 and d2 up to this time. We have learned base and height, many things, but we didn't learn anything about d1 and d2. What is that? The answer is simple. d1 and d2 is nothing but, so d1 and d2 stands for, d1 means d1 and d2 represents diagonal. What? d1 and d2 represents diagonal. So area is equal to half into d1 into d2. d1 and d2 represent diagonals. Let me tell you one thing. I have seen, let me add one more thing in between. I have seen that many students are writing notes carelessly. They are just writing notes for Shibinsa. They are not writing notes for themselves. So if I see any that kind of note works from your side, I will make you to come school every day. So please write note in a proper way. I don't want to see any notes with careless writings and all. Please write in a proper way. Here d1 and d2 represents diagonals. So what is diagonal? So you can write like this, d1 d2 are diagonals, and area is equal to half into d1 into d2. Area of kite is equal to half into d1 into d2, where d1 and d2 are diagonals. So diagonal means this is the first diagonal and this is the second diagonal. Two diagonals. This is the first diagonal and this is the second diagonal. Okay, if you have the measurement of the diagonals, then you can calculate the area of the kite. If you are not having the measure of the diagonals, you cannot calculate. Okay, then general quadrilateral. General quadrilateral means it is just a quadrilateral. There exists rectangle is a quadrilateral. What do you mean by quadrilateral? Quadrilateral, I forgot to tell you that quadrilateral means, you can write the definition here. Quadrilateral is defined as a four-sided shape, a four-sided closed shape. Quadrilateral is defined as a four-sided closed shape. What do you mean by that? Quadrilateral is, there should be four sides and it should be closed, like this is a four-sided 1 2 3. This is a four-sided shape, but it is not closed, so it is not a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means that there should be four sides and it should be closed in this way. Okay, so rectangle is a quadrilateral, parallelogram is a quadrilateral. Sorry, here it is small opening is there, let me close that. And triangle is not a quadrilateral. Why? Because it is closed but there is no four sides. Okay, that means quadrilateral is four-sided shape, four-sided closed shape. It's a quadrilateral. And okay, so these are all are quadrilateral, but there exists specific name for this quadrilateral, that is rectangle. There exists specific name for this quadrilateral, that is parallelogram. There exists a specific name for this quadrilateral, that is kite. So if there is no specific name for a quadrilateral, that we can include in the case of in the category of general quadrilateral. That means, I repeat, this is the quadrilateral of course, but there exists a specific name rectangle. This is a quadrilateral, there exists a specific name parallelogram. So quadrilaterals is not having any specific name, that will comes under general quadrilateral. For example, this is a quadrilateral, I don't have any specific name for that. 1 2 3 4 4 figure, four-sided closed one. So this is a quadrilateral. This is a general quadrilateral because I don't have any specific name for this. Then how we can calculate area of a general quadrilateral? The formula is half into h into a plus b. Half into h into a plus b. Sorry, this is not the formula, small mistake happened. Area is equal to half into d into h1 plus h2. Half into d into h1 plus h2. This is the formula for calculating area of general quadrilateral half into D into H1 plus H2. Area of a general quadrilateral is, I repeat, area is equal to half into D into H1 plus H2. What this D stands for? D is diagonal. See, this is your D. Cross line. That is what is your diagonal. This is your D. Okay, D. And what is this H1? This height is known as H1. And what is this H2? This height is known as H2. So this is your D, this D, and H1 means this one, H1, and H2 means this one, H2. This height is represented by H1 and this height is represented by H2. So because this is a triangle, this portion is a triangle, this portion is a triangle. In that triangle, height is H1. The next triangle's height is H2. That is what is this H1 and H2. So area of general quadrilateral is half into D into H1 plus H2. D is this one, diagonal. This is the area formula for calculating area of a general quadrilateral. Clear? So we have to discuss one more shape. I forgot to discuss that. That is trapezium. By discussing that, we will wind up this video. And next video onwards, we will solve some problems under this session. Under which session? Today we have learned many formulas, no? So by the next video or through the next video, we will discuss so many questions by using the formulas which we have learned through this video session. So what you have to do is, before the next video session, you are supposed to by heart all the formulas which we learned today. And next day, we are going to apply that formulas. Clear? Please by heart all the formulas. So next class, I will conduct a live class and I will ask you formulas. Get ready for that. Trapezium. Next one is trapezium. Trapezium, let me draw the general shape of a trapezium. This is the general shape of a trapezium. Let it be A, B, C, D. What is the speciality of trapezium? Features. First feature is one pair of opposite sides are parallel. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താ? അതാണ് ഫീച്ചർ. ആ ഒരു ഫീച്ചറെ ഈ ട്രപ്പീസിയത്തിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പഠിക്കേണ്ടുള്ളൂ. ഫീച്ചർ വൺ പെയർ ഓഫ് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡ്സ് ആർ പാരലൽ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താ? ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു സൈഡ് പാരലായാൽ മതി. മറ്റേ സൈഡ് ഇത് നോക്കി, ഇതും പാരലാണോ? അല്ല. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പെയർ പാരലായാൽ അത് ട്രപ്പീസിയമാകും. മറ്റേ പെയർ ഓഫ് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡ്സ് can be parallel, cannot be parallel. We are not going to seriously thinking about the next pair. If one pair is parallel, that is enough. That will be a trapezium. Next pair can be parallel, cannot be. We don't care about that. I repeat, trapezium is a quadrilateral with one pair should be parallel. See, this line and this line are parallel, no? See, these both are just like railway track. So these are one pair of parallel lines. Another is not parallel. It can be parallel, it cannot be. We don't care about that. If one pair is parallel, that is enough for trapezium. If a quadrilateral is known as a trapezium, then the one pair, there should exist one pair that should parallel. Another pair can be or cannot be. That is what is trapezium. And trapezium area formula is very simple. Half into h into a plus b. So what is half into h into a plus b? What is this h? This is h, height. Just like parallelogram, h. What is a and b? A and b are the length of the parallel sides. Which all are the sides are parallel, their length is known as a and b. Another length, we don't care about that. So h is nothing but the height and a and b are the length of the parallel lines. So you can write h is the height of the trapezium and a and b are the length of the parallel sides. This is the formula. So we have learned many formulas today. Please by heart all the formulas today itself, and please draw the figure and write the formula and learn. And next video we are going to solve many questions regarding the formula which we discussed today. Okay, by the next video. And I think Monday we will discuss the questions based upon these formulas which we learned, and I will conduct live class and I will test. And Monday to Wednesday, one period is there. Wednesday we will start cuboid cylinder again, and we will explore it. And I think by the next Saturday or next to next week we will complete this chapter. Anyway, February itself we will complete. We don't have enough time, but let me complete within 2 weeks, okay, without losing any concept for you. Thank you. Practice well. Have a nice day.